June 13th, 2014. We're looking at Earth-facing images. These are today. We've had a flare on both sides of the sun. The one on the right produced quite a strong coronal mass ejection. That because of its position, we're going to get more than just a glancing blow from this. We're going to take about half of that flare from the middle of the wave. Now, I want to look at this. These are today's images, but I'm going to go back before the end of the video and look at from the 10th forward. Actually, some of it starts on the 9th, but the 10th is when we got the X flares, and that's what they're saying that we're going to see in the morning. Let's take a look at this. These are LASCO C2 images going back from the days of the X flare. You saw those at first, and I'm going to go up until the latest frames today there. You'll see that even though it did not look that impressive on the SDO, this is what was thrown off the surface of the sun this morning. And these are Earth-facing images. That's what I'm saying. We're going to get more of than a glancing blow. And again, it appears to have the most energy as far as plasma density of all the flares that we've seen. Even the X flares, they loaded us up with heat and protons. But guys, they are approaching us now from the 10th. Now, this is a stereo ahead, these morning images from today. Again, quite a pulse there. Since the 10th, guys, we have been getting pounded. We've seen different things happening, the heat waves and the storms. The quakes have been too quiet. Let's go back to LASCO. Now, these actually go to the 9th. It's where they came in. We'll go to there's our X flares on the 10th. Actually, there were 3, if you remember, and I'll show you that. We had another one the next day. We're going up into the 12th. There's, again, I think the strongest as far as plasma density in the last 3 days, right there. Also the most Earth-facing. Now, with the X flares, if they had not been to the left quadrant of the sun, they would have already arrived. But if you look at your CME tracker, if they're to the left, this thing comes around and it has a bending wave. But let's look at this. 2087, 2085, and 2080 are all beta, gamma, delta. Triple magnetic configurations. 2087 is where our X flares have been coming from. 2085 and 2080 are going to turn not Earth-facing, but they're still potentially dangerous. Also, latest on the comet. Now, Brother Don sent me another comet, JPL. We're looking at it. We're kind of cross-referencing just to make sure. But I think this is still Comet JOX. But the one that Don located is going to be very interesting because that will make 3 comets coming into the inner solar system, wrapping around a planet this year. We'll go over that in the next video. But check this out. I went back to the 10th on these Earth-facing images, and I want to show you what we've got coming that will arrive in the morning, and then you've got to think about from the 10th until the 13th. So we're going to have 3 days of arrival. Look at on the 10th on the right. We knew it was moving. Now look at today's images. You see how far the actual sunspot has traveled. And we'll go through this, and on the 10th, notice the timestamp at the bottom. First X flare. Here's the beauty. The double X flare. They said it was a single, but it was double. If you check your meters real carefully, you'll see that on the graphs. Now, then on the 11th, it picked up again. Check this out. There's your first X flare. Second, strong. That one was actually a strong M flare just under X on the 12th. 2 strong flares, strong enough to actually see the override on the SDO optics. Now, again, on the 12th, we started, this coronal mass ejection came out. Then we started seeing activity of this flare that threw out this coronal mass ejection today. Again, it does not look that impressive. Now, these are the last frames. So we got, starting in the morning, coming from the 10th, 3 days of seeing what these effects are on Earth. But it's a heads up, guys, and we're going to update it, to do some comet updating. Be safe.